This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. No two NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Hey, 26.
Rodgers now to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Bears take over. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Fields going to get that out wide to Mooney. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage, good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front They won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Hands it off out of the gun. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Fields. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go. We've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they're on a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
On the return is Jones. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. We'll try and keep you updated there as well as the other spots around the league as we move past the halfway point this week in the NFL season. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, now they have an extra time. And we've seen teams come back on the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
After the sack on first down, Fields. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Think about this strong safety position. You know, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Fields now to throw.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Third and 2, Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here we go on 4th down, Fields. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Michael Thomas His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Bears' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and a couple. Rodgers.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs.
First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
The Packers at 7-1 now on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers being chased out left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now it's Fields. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, That allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
But credit that sack to Robert Quinn.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
He has it complete to Christian Watson.
They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jones.
13 yards the tally on the return there. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Troy Pride. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
1:52 to play until halftime. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. That's caught by Meredith right side.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Rodgers now on first down.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Aaron Jones with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers have cut it back within a score.
The extra point up and good. And it's now 13-7. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On first down, it's Fields. That's complete to Mooney.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Fields.
He finds his man, complete. It's Schultz. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now Fields.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. 4 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Fields. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second and very short, Fields. And his throw is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Play action. It's Fields. And that is incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When there's extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he stopped immediately there.
Darnell Savage there to make the tackle.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Here's Fields.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Got a man, it's Tunyon.
And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. That third down conversion good for 23.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And this one's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks. He seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. 88. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Fields trying to throw for it. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Get 300! Get 300! Back ball! Go right! Go right! Hey, take 26!
Rodgers now to throw.
That one caught downfield by Watson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On play action, now Rodgers. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. From a yard out. And the Packers are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
1st and goal. Forget running the football. Forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with a pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard here. They weren't expecting that.
And that totally goes against time, doesn't it? When you think 1st and goal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
A huge play there for Chicago. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Fields on 3rd down. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will have the Bears' first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
He did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
To try again after the sack. Fields finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard
in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Here's Fields. And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney from 13 yards out. And the Bears add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Plant.
Now Rodgers. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Inside. Box it, box it, box it, box it. Hey, 88, 88, 88.
Now Rodgers got to have this one.
That's complete to Dobbs.
And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
Going left side here, and it's complete.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
First down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12.
51 yards on the ground for him so far.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We get control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. He finds his target. It's Schultz. Touchdown! A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bears have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will make this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Off the play fake. Got him. Rolling to his right. He's going to let it fly. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body.
He'd been having a good day so far, but I think he got a little overzealous on that one. Still young in this league. Has to learn to try not to do too much on an individual play because, as we all know, sometimes less is more. And throwing away is preferable to making the big mistake.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
To throw is Fields.
And a catch right side by Evans.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for Chicago,
they moved to 7-1 on